Well, with the ribbon cutting ceremony behind us and the finishing touches done, it's time to open the door to the podium. The first event this weekend's a big one, the U.S. National Indoor Track and Field Championships. Selection Sunday is always a special day, and the Gonzaga Bulldogs have been enjoying it for over 2 decades. But as a college basketball player, when you hear your name called, which Gonzaga's about to in just a couple hours, it's a feeling unlike any other. As you can see and hear, there's not much left of the legendary arena. Not only did it host football games for the Cougs and high school football games, but Monsters of Rock and Billy Graham were also here. But now, almost 70 years later, its time has come. Trips to the NCAA softball tournament have been few and far between for the Whitworth Pirates, but this year they're hoping to climb these stairs on their way to the big dance. Well, tomorrow night here in the arena, the Hull sisters will play their final game together. That covers a whole lot of basketball games, but even more memories.
It's back to the field for the Seattle Mariners, trying to break out of a deep hole. If the team wants to turn things around, they're going to have to do it against one of the hottest teams in the league. This weekend, the Mariners travel to New York to play the Mets, who lead the NL East with a 22-11 record to start the year, and they haven't lost a series all year. Well, the Spokane Indians had the day off too, but the schedule maker didn't give it to them, Mother Nature did. Today's matchup with the Hillsboro Hops was over before it even began. Too much rain in the area. The teams will make up the game Saturday with a doubleheader, which starts at 5:05 in the evening. They will try to play their normally scheduled game tomorrow at 6:35, but rain is in the forecast again, so this one might not get played either. The Indians battled rain all of last week in Spokane. Well, with a win last night over UC Riverside, the Washington State baseball team is back to 500 on the season. That's the good news. The bad news is the team is still 6 games under 500 in the Pac-12. If the Cougs want to play in the Pac-12 tournament, they'll have to keep winning games. Right now, they're 10th in the conference, and the tournament is only for the top 8 teams. The only team below WSU is USC. Right above the Cougs is Cal and UW, both half a game ahead of Wazoo. If the Cougs can jump ahead of those teams this weekend, they will be in the 8th and final spot with 3 conference games left. The Cougs won 2 out of 3 against Arizona and Oregon earlier this year, 2 top 10 road matchups, and now they have to play 3 games against number 15 UCLA on the road starting Friday night. And the countdown to the NBA Combine is on for college basketball players, including some Gonzaga alums. But Drew Timme has been busy before the Combine. Timme worked out with the Atlanta Hawks ahead of the Combine and draft. He also completed a workout with the Oklahoma City Thunder earlier this week. The Combine is next week, and the NBA draft is June 23rd.
When you hear Gonzaga, bet you think basketball, but there's another pretty good team on campus. The baseball team is ranked in the top 15 and has been there much of the year. They've opened some eyes with some impressive early season wins.
We thought we would have a good season. We thought we would be able to go beat Oklahoma State, Oregon State, whoever it is. But, the country didn't know that, and even the Northwest might have not believed in us like that.
Bulldog pitching has been the key to the success the Zags are having this year.
Having someone like Gabe Hughes to lead us off every weekend, hopefully a first-round pick this year, and then followed up by Tristan Freeland and Will Kempner, and those guys are, doing their job every week, and it's good for the team.
The West Coast Conference Tournament is back after 2 years away because of COVID. And Gonzaga is hoping winning a league title will also give them the chance to host a regional, a first for the program.
I think this is what we've, worked all fall for, worked all winter for, and this is why we play the game. We want to play in the big moment, and we want to do something that the Gonzaga baseball program's never done.
There are only 7 games left, but still a whole lot at stake. I'm Katelyn McLean, SWX.
Women's lacrosse is the newest sport here at Whitworth, playing its first season just 4 years ago in 2019. But the team faced a pretty tough Northwest Conference road its first 3 seasons, only winning 3 games in those first 3 years.
You guys started out your season 1-7 in conference, and then all of a sudden, bam, you won 13 straight. What changed for you guys?
What did you guys just kind of talk about, and what adjustments did you guys make to get back into this game?
You and I were talking a little bit before, and you told me that you actually had an injury last season. How has that been working back from that injury for you to get back on the court?
Thanks for being willing to teach me how to pitch.
Of course.
And good luck with the rest of your season. I'm excited to see how you guys do.
Thanks.
I'm Katelyn McLean, sports editor of the Whitworthian, and I'm here with Corinne Vasiloff, and we're going to learn how to pitch today.
You stepped up to the plate. They just had gotten a double play. You had 2 outs, stepped up. I heard Coach Castle from the dugout say, remember the scoreboard, just swing at it, take it out. And you responded. You did exactly that. What were you thinking as you stepped up and as you heard him say that?
Was there ever a moment in that tennis career where you kind of went, okay, I want to take this to maybe college or the next level?
What's your best pitch?
I think curve. One of my catchers might tell you it's screwball, but curve is my favorite.
Live from the Northern Quest Sports Studio, SWX Sports starts right now.
After sending struggling prospect Jared Kelnick down to AAA Tacoma, the Seattle Mariners began a series with his former ball club. The Mariners' first time in Queens since 2008 and their first ever game at Citi Field. It's going to be the Mets that are going to strike first with runners on second and third. Francisco Lindor pops a short one to center. Julio Rodriguez chases it down and gets the glove under it, but it's enough to score a run for New York. Julio Rodriguez excited about that catch. Marco Gonzalez is pitching well here in the second, gets Brandon Nimmo to end the inning. Marco with 5 Ks through 6 2/3. Mariners get on the board here. Jesse Winker with runners on the corners. The line drive over the shift easily scores Ty France from third and ties the game at 1. We're still tied here in the 8th, but Ty France with a huge hit. Abraham Toro scores, 2-1 Mariners, and that would be the difference. The Mariners get the win, a great way to start a road trip. We've got the same 2 teams Saturday in Game 2. The Spokane Indians came up short tonight in both runs and in innings. It was raining hits for the Hops early on in this one. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. We've got AJ Vukovic with a shot to left. This one's going to barely stay in the ballpark as Vukovic comes into second with an RBI double to give the Hops the lead. In the next inning, Hillsboro's Tristan English at the plate with a man on, puts some English on that ball. Oppo power. Hops take a 3-0 lead on the long ball. In the 6th inning, the Indians are going to get their first run of the night. Eddie Diaz hits it back up the middle. The fielder with some trouble getting the throw off. Diaz is going to be safe at first, and the Indians cut the lead down to 3. That's as close as they would get tonight. The game was called after 7 innings due to rain, and the Indians will play 2 on Saturday. The final home series of the season for the Gonzaga Bulldogs started tonight. This team is looking to host an NCAA tournament regional, but they'll have to keep on winning. Gonzaga honoring late assistant coach Danny Evans tonight, and they also had jerseys with his number 8 on the chest. In the first inning, Santa Clara looking to get greedy on the base pass, but Ezra Samperi guns a runner down at second with this great throw. In the second, the Broncos load up the bases, and Cal Cristofori is going to deliver. Base hit into right. 2 runs are going to come in to score, and Santa Clara gets on the board first. Moving to the 4th inning, it's still 2-0. The Zags have the bases loaded. Shea Kramer grounds it to first, force out there, but Xavier Pinales able to come in to score and cuts the lead in half. And in the 9th inning, we've got 2 on Dylan Johnson with the base hit to center. The tying run scores, and the winning run is right behind. He scores, and the Zags win it. A 2-game lead over San Diego. We've got the same 2 teams on Saturday. 2 years ago, the NCAA tournament was canceled. Last year, fan attendance was limited, and all games were played at a single site. But tomorrow, we find out what seed teams are, and it feels like March Madness is finally back to how it should be. We are less than 24 hours away from Selection Sunday. The Gonzaga Bulldogs will enter the day as the #1 team in the country for the 2nd straight year and will likely be the #1 overall seed in the tournament. Since Major League Baseball's lockout ended 2 days ago, many teams have started making moves and setting their rosters for the start of the season. But the Seattle Mariners have yet to make a splash with mandatory spring training starting tomorrow. The M's did add reigning American League Cy Young Award winner Robbie Ray before the lockout, and General Manager Jerry Dipoto has said he wants to add at least 1 impact bat to the lineup before the start of the season. Dipoto also said he's happy with the development of some of the younger players and gave a health update for center fielder Kyle Lewis, who played just 36 games last year after a partial tear in his right knee. Former Mariners starting pitcher Yusei Kikuchi has a new home. The left-hander is headed to Canada after signing a 3-year deal with the Blue Jays. In the college game, Washington State hosting #4 Oregon State today. Bottom of the 2nd, Cougs trailing by 1 after a homer earlier in the inning. Looking to add on with a runner on second. Jack Smith at the plate, but he chops it to second. He's out, and the inning is over. Washington State still down 2-1. Speaking of the Zags, but on the basketball court, Selection Sunday is tomorrow. And while we know the Bulldogs are likely going to be the #1 overall seed, we will find out who they're playing in the first round. And finally, on the football field, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of Washington State is now a member of the Pac-12's highest honor. Drew Bledsoe was inducted into the conference's Hall of Honor yesterday. During his career at Wazoo, Bledsoe set multiple records and was the Pac-10 Conference MVP and All-American in 1991. After leaving Washington State, Bledsoe was selected #1 overall by the New England Patriots in the 1992 NFL Draft. He's the 21st player from Wazoo to be inducted into the Pac-12 Hall of Honor.